What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Trey, True Thought. So this video is going to be about RSP. I've actually done, so far I've done 3 National Guard RSPs. RSP stands for Recruit Sustainment Program. So anyone that comes into the Army National Guard, especially if you have some time between your enlistment date and your shipping date, you'll be attending RSP. Like I said, I enlisted back in January of this year, but I don't ship until September. And so from February on, I've been attending RSP. And so RSP is basically it's your drill weekend, kind of like your unofficial drill weekend, but it's the weekend where you're kind of getting prepared for basic training. So when you go there, my first training, or my first RSP, we went to, hopped on the bus. The bus takes us to the training grounds, and when you get to the training grounds, you're met by a drill sergeant. So at RSP, you do have drill sergeants. You get off the bus. My first RSP was actually pretty eventful. Our drill sergeant got on the bus and seemed like he was getting ready to give us a pretty decent welcome, until he noticed that people weren't shaved, and somebody was wearing their PT uniform and civilian clothing at the same time, which is a no-no. So make sure when you go to RSP that your face is shaved, or at least if you're in the Maryland National Guard RSP, make sure your face is shaved. So I'm not sure if it differs, from state to state or from drill sergeant to drill sergeant. But those who are attending the RSP in Maryland, make sure you're shaved, mustache, beard, goatee, whatever, clean shaven, and good haircut. So our drill sergeant, immediately stopped his decent welcome and started yelling and getting us off the bus, and we had to do what we call aerosols, which are basically 5 push-ups, 5 pull-ups, 5 push-ups to go back around, repeat the process. 5 push-ups, 5 pull-ups, 5 push-ups. And I think we ended up doing like 13 or 14 rounds because he kept finding things that were wrong. So this is before we even had this is before we signed in, before we knew anything, we got anything else at RSP. This was my introduction to RSP. But when you get there, you sign in, you'll check in your belongings, phones, any kind of contraband. You'll get your name, or you get a tag that you write your name on to put on your bag. They'll weigh you, and you'll do that every weekend, the same process every weekend. Then from there, you'll be sent to a building to get your linen for your bed. Your first RSP weekend, you'll get linen, and you'll also get your PT uniform, jacket, pants, short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt, shorts, as well as a backpack for some. I didn't get one because they ran out by the time I got there. Afterwards, you'll be given a roommate. Your roommate go to your dorm, fix your bed, and then you have to meet back outside for formation. Your first weekend is what you call red phase, and red phase really is just an introduction to a soldier's life, or what the Army is about. So you do a PowerPoint that talks about the warrior ethos, and that talks about the Army creed, and that talks about the history of the National Guard, and what's expected of you, and all those kinds of things. It's a really long PowerPoint presentation. That's when you first learn also how to march, how to do things in cadences. Just kind of like the basics, about facing and things of that nature. You kind of learn the basics, and it's for about a day and a half. Yeah, second day, depending on, again, where you are, you may either do some more, some CrossFit training. You'll definitely do morning PT, which is marching to the armory, doing some stretches, and then after that, heading outside to do your 2-mile run, and whatever else they want you to do. Going on to breakfast, getting your breakfast, lunch, and all that kind of good stuff, and then resuming whatever training they have you doing for that first weekend. So that first weekend again was it's just a lot of introductory drills. Like I said, marching, learning the commands, what each command means, how to properly salute, how to learning the ranks of that are in the military, the NCOs and of the officers, and the proper way to address them. And overall, it wasn't all that bad. You get you get your meals, your lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner while you're there. You're not able to call or contact anybody while you're there, so kind of be prepared for that. If you get injured, if you're injured before you get there, notify your recruiter so that way they can notify the proper sergeants, and they'll put you on what's called profile, which is basically not to allow you to do anything too strenuous while you're on profile, while you're injured, because again, the goal is to make sure you're ready for basic training. So they don't want to injure you or run you down before you get to basic training. They just want to teach you what you need to know so that when you get to basic training, you're not completely in shock like other people. But the National Guard isn't the only one that has a program like that. I think all the branches now have similar programs. I know the Army, the active Army, has the Future Soldiers program. Army Reserves has a similar program, so on and so forth, just to make sure that you're prepared and ready for what you're about to face. Now, it's not exactly the same thing as basic training as I understand it. However, it does give you a little bit of a taste. So hopefully this video was helpful to somebody. Again, if you have any questions or any comments, drop them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to my page. All right, take care.